Hello, I thought we should continue from where I started. I've opened this now to just put it into perspective of how the song God is doing a new thing and what caused us to do what we did. So, what you're looking at is the score with an organ accompaniment. Okay, this is an organ accompaniment, and this is the pedal of the organ, the bass pedal of the organ, where you simply have to write the bass note. We know that the organ, when you're playing, you've got the hands there, and also the legs should play, and the legs play the bass part. So I'm showing you the beginning of God is doing a new thing with an organ accompaniment, because this song was originally written with an organ accompaniment. So as you can see, the music starts with an acrosis, an upbeat. Okay, it starts with an upbeat or a pickup beat, and the part that is being played is ta da dee da dee da da da. Then ti dee dee da. It goes there. Okay, I've just taken the two bars that I want to explain, because the bar that is needs to be explained is this last bar, which affects the voices. Okay, so this is the part that has been taken. Ti da di da di da da da. Ti di di di, and the music continues. Ti di di, then da. There's not missing there. Like I said, I'm just picking the part that is important. So now the music starts on an acrosis, which is the fourth beat of the bar. As you can see, there's only one note appearing in this bar. Sorry, let me just do this so that nothing goes on there. There's one note, or the two semiquavers. I mean, when you group them, they give you one beat. Okay, there's only one beat appearing in this bar, and there it is indicated as one crochet rest. And since, like I said, I don't need to indicate the first beat, the second beat, and the third beat in this bar, I have changed the property and created this as an incomplete bar, and therefore I'm starting on the fourth beat. And in music, we don't actually count this as bar one. We don't count this as bar one because there are some beats missing. So bar one musically starts in this bar. This is bar one followed by bar two. But sometimes the music software will indicate this as 1, 2, depends on the music software. But in most cases, this is 1 and 2. Okay, and I'll explain how this will be completed later on. So now, since this music is starting with an organ and it starts in this bar, therefore I need to keep these rests, because music is already starting. As the voices are resting, the music has already started. So I need to indicate these rests because they're very, very important. If I don't indicate the rests in these bars, then there will be confusion in starting. So I need to keep this because the music has already started. Okay, because music has already started, I need to indicate the bars, I mean the rest. And that's why somebody was trying to say, if you look at down there, the trombone, explaining what the trombone is doing, but one thing is forgetting is that the music is not starting in that bar. Okay, the music is starting with the drum. When you compare it with the Boys Brigade drum, the music is starting the moment the drum go pam 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 pam, jiggy 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 jiggy. That music has already started, and therefore those rests need to be kept. Okay, that is very, very important. We need to note that the music, the moment the music starts, even if it's just one drum playing pa and the rest are waiting, that music has already started, and those rests will be part of the music. So these rests are part of the music. That rest and these rests are all part of the music because music has already started. And we can say that these rests are within the music. They are part of the music. I hope that is very clear. These rests here now are part of the music because the music has already started. If the music didn't start in this bar, then this rest in this bar will not be very important. What will be important to be the rest indicated, or the rest indicated in the second bar. And I can even delete this bar because I don't need it, because the music is not starting in this bar, it's starting in that bar. Okay? And they can even say, let's start there. But if I want the rest to be part of the music and something starts, I need to keep these rests, because music rests now, those rests become part of the music. I hope that is clear. Now, let's come to this bar. Since all these bars are part of the music, the rest are part of the music, we come to this bar, which is very, very important. That's where the bar, everything is coming to starting. So what I simply do is, because I want my music to start here, okay, which is the third beat, because this is first and second, third and the fourth beat. Now the music is starting on the last beat of this third beat, the last half of the third beat. If you are counting 1 and 2 and 3, and on the end of 3, like 3 and, okay, is starting there. So I must make sure that I synchronize these rests to make sure that they all start exactly where the keyboard or the organ starts. So if I'm writing, I'll decide whether I want to indicate the first one to be a minim rest. Okay, it is up to me to do that. I can say, let's say we divide those into 2 minim rests, and then the next one we're going to divide it into 2 crochet rests, because I want that to be subdivided into quiver rests. So I do this, and I do that if I want, and if I don't want, I can keep this as a, because the sopranos are not starting there, I can keep this as a whole note rest, and this the music is starting there with the bass. Then I have to indicate that the bass will start with that quiver. So as we write, we know how we write. This is the first, it goes with that first line. Now I want to indicate here using the second line, because it's the bass that is starting in the second line. So let's do this. I want my bass to start. So I will do this, and I'll also indicate the minim rest with the bass. Let's do this. Let me go and indicate the minim rest on the bass note. Let me indicate the minim rest on the bass note, and I do this, okay, and it has divided 2 minim rests there, but I want the next one to be a crochet rest. So I'm writing on the bass line. So I have on top the tenors. On top I have the tenors. I can even change this to the tenors and put it as the rest with altos and sopranos. So the music is happening here because the bass are starting there. So I have to break. It's starting on the third beat. So I need to break that third beat into quiver, into 2 quiver rests. So when I do this, it breaks into 2 quiver rests. Then I'm sure my music is starting on this beat, and therefore I'm going to indicate and write there. So that's how the bass are going to start. Okay, they're now synchronizing with the keyboard there because the music has already started, and I want them to start there. But these guys on top will be resting for 4 counts in this bar. These guys will be resting for 4 counts on this bar, alto and soprano, and so is tenor and alto and soprano and also tenor, they're resting for 4 counts. So for them, they're resting 1 plus 4, that's 5, plus 4, that's 9. So 1, 2, oh, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how much they're resting in these bars here. Okay, so the bass are starting there. So because, like I said, let me repeat this, because the music has already started, therefore I'm obliged to indicate these rests, because they all are part of music now, because the music has already started. I think that is very, very important. And I will end here. I'll continue because I'm looking at posting these videos on WhatsApp. So I'm conscious about the size. So I'll continue.